Hey everyone, welcome back to another racing video. We are on our way to TeamSport Newcastle. So a little bit different for the intro today. Thought I'll do it while I'm actually on the way there, just to save us time in post-editing. Hopefully you'll stick around to the end to see exactly how I do. Also, at the end of this video, I will be letting you know what I will be doing next time, as I will be going somewhere different. I was thinking that might have saved us some time, but maybe not until I get used to it, but never mind. So today's event is Need for Speed, so we have 4 rounds with randomised grids and all lasting about 15 minutes. After the 4 rounds, it goes off a cumulative of points to see who will get the trophies. Now something in this one that I've never done before is we have to use the boost button. We are on speed 3 for the majority of the race, and you get around about 3 to 5 seconds of boost per lap, and I can safely say I had no idea what I was doing in especially the first and second race, but watch to the end to see how well I actually do in the final race. So I will skip to the start of the race like I normally do, but please keep an eye out on what my thumbs do, and if you've been to TeamSport Newcastle as well, let me know when you actually use your boost button. And since there is no joker laps or pit stops, we can bring back the position and lap marker again. So since I have in total over an hour worth of footage, I will just make sure I get the key highlights in, making sure that I keep the first couple of laps in, because you all seem to enjoy that as well. It's also the best opportunity to gain the most positions, but also ruin some people's races as well. Now, as mentioned, the boost button is in play for this one, and I forgot all about it for the first lap, so I wasn't sure of when I should use it, whether or not I should keep it all for the last moments. But as you can see, people are overtaking us because I didn't realise you should be using the boost button to either maintain position or try and get the extras. Now if you stick around to the end race, you will see a much better result because I do start dead last. So as you can see, we have been left for dead by Switchback, and again we're just getting overtaken, and we are currently now slipped behind Bilal. Now in this race, me and Bilal do have a good battle of actually where we should be overtaking each other, and he is pretty good at defending, so it was very fun to actually be in the kart with him at this moment in time. Now the boost button did play a big part on where you can actually overtake as well, which made a really interesting race in a lot of occasions, as the person in front can also use this to defend, and it's working out to force them to use their boost button, as well as making sure you still have enough to get them where you need to. So this is a point where I thought it was best to use my boost, so I kept it all for the straight, realising I wasn't using it to its full potential and wasting a lot of it, but you can see the speed difference down the straight. Now I may have been quite courteous to Bilal on this first lap, making sure there's plenty of space, but let me know what you think if I should have actually forced him into the wall. It may have been some good content, but we are able to be very respectful for each other, making sure that we don't take each other off, and we've actually been side by side through a lot of them corners, but it's also put us offline, allowing Lewis to make the overtake on both of us. Now I will just speed the footage up a little bit as nothing happens for a little while. While I do that though, I'll just point out that the lap timer actually starts and stops on this track here on the track, but the boost reset happens where we start the actual race. So coming back round to the start finish straight again, you can see that I've kept all my boost ready to try and get Bilal again, but again giving him plenty of room on the outside, but that has just allowed him to carry the speed round, and then hopefully I was able to get the position, but maybe a little bit of a touch, again very respectful, and he still holds the position, again the same place. Now it is quite fun being in a battle with somebody, but as you can see the karts in front are managing to get away, and also the karts behind are now trying to take the opportunity to make that overtake. As you can see, we've lost a place going into that hairpin there, and again they've now got a little bit of a gap slowing us down. Have to be conscious of the person behind because you saw his pink feet beforehand, but again it's coming onto the straight where I know I've kept all my boost. Now to be fair, it's probably a good thing I started on the back on this race to actually learn where to use the boost. As you can see, we are now back up onto the karts in front, so we are knowing a little bit better on where to use it. We also did get a little bit held up and battling with Bilal, but now there's a bit of gap between. We can get our head down, try and copy from the karts in front, see where they're getting away, and maybe where to press the boost button. Now my times in this race actually dropped quite a lot as the race evolved. I started off doing a 58.4, and in the end on my last lap I managed to get a 56.5, so at least we are getting that little bit more speed. It's a shame that we maybe didn't have that at the start, but that's all knowledge ready for us to take us into the next race. And speaking of the next race, here we are. Now we did manage to actually finish in 12th in the last one, but this is random grids, and here we are in starting in 9th place. So again, not too far up since last time we did start 10th, but we get a much better start on this one, go on the inside and manage to get all the way down to 7th on the first corner. Now, eyes in front. Now we can look ahead, we can see the person in the white suit, which we were actually faster than him, catching him up in that last race. However, there's a little bit of a pile up on the first corner. I've went to the back end of him and he has got a little bit hurt. He did pull over in that one. He did manage to finish this race, as well as he did complete the rest of the evening. Just need a little bit of a race. However, if you've ever had a crash in a car, if you're in the wrong position or you're not comfortable in the seat, it does really hurt. And if you've ever broken a rib before, it takes ages to heal. Speaking from experience, of course. But no red flag, so we can race on. Now right behind me is Josh, who actually started pretty much at the back this time. I can actually hear him, and as we're going into this hairpin, you might be able to hear it, so I will go silent. So yeah, he did say, "Hi Tom," so at least I know he's behind him. But it is that weird thing in these electric carts where you can actually hear people talking. Now, God knows what Hayden was doing there, giving us his angel impression, but it allowed us to get alongside. However, he maybe never saw us in time, meaning that we give him a little bit of a tap. It's also allowed Josh to get through, so bye Josh. Hopefully we can actually stick on the back end of you and follow yourself through the pack, as he did win the last race. Now, you did see the universal sign for give us a push by tapping the back of your helmet, so let's see if we can actually keep up, or indeed make some positions up with him. We maybe have a telltale sign that Hayden does have some issues, but hopefully he just forgot to use the boost button, or indeed he maybe just wanted a shout out on the video. Now I will just speed the footage up a little bit. Now it was funny actually speaking to some of the people who saw the last video that had it sped up, and they said it was completely weird and thought we were actually going that fast already, and when I slowed it down it felt like I went half speed. But it's just to make sure that I don't miss anything out, and of course make sure that everybody gets a shout out they deserve. But as you can see, the pack has bunched up again, allowing us to maybe make some overtakes, which as you can see Hayden overtaking there, which I'm pretty sure not going to be long for Josh to make a move. Now we are right in the bumper, so we need to make sure we can follow him through with this. We would imagine that he was going to try and get him going into the hairpin on the top. However, it is quite difficult as long as you don't have the overspeed, because you can just hold you around the outside and then you're on the outside for the next corner. Exactly like that. But Josh managed to hold it, going all the way through. We do manage to give him a little bit of a tap, follow through as well. Now we are onto the straight where we're going to keep all of our boost. Now we know Josh is fast, we'll give him a boost down the straight to help catch the carts out in front. It's a great opportunity to actually follow Josh as well, as he is one of the fastest, especially using the boost button, and at least we can learn a couple of things on how to be fast. So he did manage to get the overtake on Hayden. We've tried to follow through and go down the straight, which we've managed to make that stick. Until I speak too soon, give him too much space, and he manages to get us back on the inside. But eager not to lose too much time to Josh to try and follow him through, we used a bit more boost than we would normally come back onto our straight, managing to make the overtake stick. So now head down to try and get Josh. Now he is behind Bilal. Bilal is quite good at defending, so hopefully it's enough time to catch him. Now, quick skip a little bit ahead to the end of lap 7. Josh managed to get past Bilal. Now, as we know, we're good on the straight, so that's where we're going to use the boost. Now, we maybe don't give Bilal as much room as we did beforehand, trying to learn from our mistakes, and we managed to make that position stick. Now, we are in 4th place, which isn't too bad from 9th. Now, we don't actually improve on this, but we do get more track time practicing with that boost button. So I will skip to the next race, where again, we are starting in 10th. Now it is a bit weird when you're meant to get one front, one middle, one back, but never mind. So away we go. Now I do love the starting rental cars just because there's so much surround that you can't really do any damage, that can get a little bit tight, and it is quite entertaining. But in this case we don't lose many positions, or indeed we don't lose any, and we managed to stick behind Eben. Now if you can see, Eben actually has a camera on the side of his helmet for this one. It is the same as our own, is the Insta360 GO 3S, which I absolutely love how you can take it out and actually put it inside your helmet with a couple of bit of adjustments. Let us know if you want to know how I've actually put it into my helmet to see if it would work for you, especially not allowing some cameras on outside tracks. But the actual reason why I'm mentioning, if you can see his helmet, apparently as he was going around to try and get some cool footage, he was actually trying to adjust it as people were trying to overtake him. Now I would love to see that footage, so if it is the case, please reach out. I want to try and put it in the next one. I want you to keep doing it, as it'll be great getting them different angles. Maybe not so much for track time, especially since the boost button's on the right hand side and your camera was on the right hand side. So quick skip ahead to the end of lap 3. Again, we keep most of our boost for the straight and try and get the jump on Freddie. However, not enough overspeed, but I did take him a little bit by surprise. But Freddie is one of the best people at defending. He will make sure he knows where I am to not let him overtake. And the reason why I actually showed it from the end of lap 3 is to see exactly what he does on the next lap. Because if you do look a little bit ahead, there's actually not much space between ourselves and the karts in front, so there's plenty of opportunities to actually make some overtakes and some positions up. As you can see, they are battling as well, holding themselves up, making sure that we can catch up faster. And with me trying to get the jump on Freddie down the straight, he's definitely going to be prepared for it this time. So we do get a good run from this top hairpin coming down the ramp, and so does Freddie, to be perfectly honest, but he's put himself a little bit off space coming onto the corner just after the down ramp. We can see a little bit ahead. 26 is also screwed himself up. Now we're going to give Freddie the biggest push he's ever had down the straight, allowing him to get 35 or bash into 35, which has given us enough space to follow through. Again, giving a little bit of boost, making sure we can help him make the overtake stick. And plenty of thumbs up from Freddie as well, which I much appreciate. Now with Freddie knowing that I'm using all my boost for the straight, nearly every lap there afterwards, he does go defensive, when I would have just pushed him down the straight, which is just screwing us a little bit both up. However, it is quite funny, especially there with his late turn to the left thinking I was going to dive bomb. And when I turn the footage up, you can actually hear some mumbles, but it's inaudible. I don't know what he says. He always says it's very nice things, but I don't think so, maybe in the moment. I can safely say you're definitely going to see a lot more Freddie as this race goes on. Now, quick skip to the end of lap 6. You can see Freddie's definitely looking to exactly where I am. And I actually used the boost button a little bit earlier than I did this time. Now, if you're listening, now I'm pretty sure Freddie said, "How can you be that fast?" It may not have been that. It may have been some lovely words, and only Freddie will know. But that's another position gained, but Freddie now knows where I might be using my boost. Hint hint for later on in the video. Now, same place for the Pink Panther where I get the overtake. Make sure I keep all my boost down the straight and make that move stick. So we are down to 5th place, and let's see if we can get one more position before this race ends. Quick jump to lap 9. We can see Hayden is having a nice battle with Sean, I think it is. Now we try to follow ourselves through, which we are able to. Maybe he hit the barrier, maybe I could have given more room, but he is still on my bumper, as you are going to see plenty of him, because Hayden knows he isn't the fastest in this race, so he decides to have plenty of fun making sure I go in the most worst positions. So here's a little few clips from this race on what happens. So well done, Hayden, for that entertainment. But here we are on the final race. We are starting in 17th, which was meant to be dead last, but the two people behind us want to start last. But in this one, we also have Switchback's View. Now, this is only the first 4 laps, but at least it's something extra to put into the videos. Let us know what you think about it, and also if you've jumped over to his channel and give him a like and a follow as well. So pretty good start on that. We are down to 13th place already. We can see Switchback is just behind the person in the white suit, which we can see about 4 places ahead of us. Josh is also ahead. Now we know he's fast, so we want to try to get on the back end of him. However, if we are faster, we will go for the overtake. Now what I love is the difference of watching from behind as well as the footage from Switchback ahead, where we can see Josh is beside him. He is able to try to make the move, but hangs him out to dry, making sure that we can get that position, exactly what we were saying beforehand. Now we were courteous going around that corner. We are side by side, thinking that we're going to give him space, but then realising, hold on, we are in a race, I want to make this stick. Now I'm not sure exactly what he did say there, but we did use a little bit of boost, managed to beat him down the bottom of the hill so we didn't hinder ourselves coming onto the straight, and also the person in the white suit also made a mistake, allowing us to get that position. Maybe it wasn't so much a mistake. We saw on switchback screen that he got the overtake, putting him offline, and it is very slippy if you do go off onto the cold track. Now right behind switchback here, he is right on the bumper of kart 51, looking like he is going to get the overtake done here, but the person in 51 makes sure that he doesn't want to give that up, putting him and switchback offline, allowing me to get 2 in 1 corner. So down to 6th place in 2 laps isn't too bad in my book. Now we can see on switchback screen he managed to make the overtake as well, so he is right in my bumper, and hopefully we can work together to make our way up into a podium position. Now we are right behind Simon, and same with anyone, if you're going to go for the overtake you need to do it straight away, because if not, as we've seen by Freddie earlier on, they will look to defend. So let's catch them by surprise. My favourite place, down the straight, plenty of overspeed, plenty of boost left, and we managed to make that stick. Simon after this race actually said that he did that move again on Eben in front, so at least we're all helping each other out. Quick skip ahead to the end of lap 3, right on the bumper of Eben, and as you can imagine what's going to happen, we're going to have plenty of boost left to get them down the straight again. It was interesting from watching the first race to this last race where I've got my fastest lap of where I've actually learned to use the boost and how much boost you actually have per race. But now we have a massive gap to the karts in front. We are currently in 4th place, so really well done from starting 17th anyway, but let's see if we can get the karts in front with 10 laps to go. Before we jump ahead, thank you very much for sticking around this long. If you have enjoyed the video, please make sure you give it a like and also a comment on what you've actually liked about this one, as I do try to add different things on each video, whether it be different transitions, some music, and just so at least I can put together of what you all like to make my future videos better. But thank you very much for all your support so far. Our subscriber count is growing, and then once we have hit that 500 mark, I'm able to add the shop so you can buy some of these t-shirts from there. Right, so pressure is on. We are on lap 7 and we are on the back of the person in 3rd place. Little mistake from them coming up the ramp, leaving enough space for me to get by. However, they are still on the outside. Try to get me back on the inside, puts us both offline, and I'm conscious I need to go forward as fast as I can. A couple of bumps there, love taps we'll call them, trying to be as nice as I can, but for how much speed he had going in that corner, I would have imagined he's used up all of his boost. So I don't tend to use too much, especially I was trying to plan it overtaking where was best to do it. I was maybe planning to overtake him down the straight anyway, so let's see how much overspeed we can get. Pull alongside, there we go, made that move stick, down to 3rd place with Freddie and Bilal ahead. Now if you can see the footage, they are long gone, they are nearly this full extra straight ahead, so we have to be moving to actually catch them up, which we do, and with plenty of laps to spare in theory. So Freddie actually caught Bilal and they did have a battle, which allowed me to catch up that little bit sooner. Now I haven't showed my nose just yet, so they shouldn't know that I'm right on the bumper, so I need to make sure I catch Freddie off guard, because as I remember beforehand, he's very good at defending, so we've got to make sure that's sticked. Same with Bilal in that first race, these two know where I use my boost. Now there is quite a big gap coming onto the straight, but we've managed to catch it up on the brakes. Are we close enough to get Freddie down this straight? Here we go, boost on, nice overspeed. Can we make it stick? And then we get to the corner, he's seen us, not enough speed, we're now battling, I'm now behind, Freddie now knows I'm there, what's going to happen there now? Now as we come back up the complex, we can see Freddie's looking behind them. I'm worried that I need to make this move ASAP. However, he should be also concentrating to overtake Bilal, so I'm not quite sure of where to happen. Give him a little bit of a tap going into the complex, coming back up to the ramp, but we just need to wait and see whatever happens. The telltale sign, if we can get 1st place, is how much does Freddie defend. Going back up to this hairpin, he defends pretty well. The gap with Bilal is getting bigger. Bilal has noticed the gap is getting bigger. He's able to do the proper racing line and actually speed up. And as we can see, Freddie defends some more. Now because of how much gap I've made from the people behind to catch these up, we don't have to worry about the karts behind. So will Freddie defend down the straight? Moment of truth. Yes, he does goes to the inside. Can we go around the outside like we did beforehand? Not enough. But we do squeeze them. Can we go around the outside? This time I know that I've got boost there. Do we try and boost it to get that overtake? Now we've managed to make it stick. Now you can't actually hear, there is some giggling. But then as we come back to the complex, we can hear something. And as we can see, there's plenty of giggles. I'm pretty sure he said, no matter what, I'm coming down the inside here. So as we're battling some more, Bilal's got away. Bilal actually has some flyer laps going into this one. We also get our fastest lap in this race as well, as a 55.58, which is really well, considering how slow we were in the first race. Now, as this is going on longer, Freddie's just defending that a little bit more. Now it does just get so entertaining, this part. We're not aware of how many laps are left. As you can see on the screen, we are on lap 14 and actually going on to the last lap, trying to get the overspeed again round the outside. Can we make it stick? Let's see. This is our final hurrah to at least get second place. There we go, some more giggling, some more noises. Got no idea what's been said. We've probably actually seen that the race marshals were getting ready to wave the checkered flag at this point, so he's doing everything he can to actually maintain his position. But regardless, I can safely say that this has been the best race of 2025 so far. Mainly because it's definitely been my first race, but that's by the by. So, as we're getting on to this last race, as mentioned, I was going to mention what's coming up this year. Now, we are going to have a race in Bradford, which I've mentioned in my last video, which should be the next video that I get up. We will be doing the Karting Northeast Championship, and we'll be getting some videos for you on that as well. Now, also in February, we are doing a special race with Clark Motorsport, and we are going to be doing a hire kart race at Rowra. Now, Rowra was used to be one of my favourite tracks back when I used to have my own car in Rotax. I was club champion there in Senior Max 1 year as well, so extremely looking forward to that. That race as well will also have people from all sorts of different motorsport, from drifting, legends, gearbox karts, and I am extremely looking forward to that. So keep an eye out for that video. It will be at the back end of February. But if you have liked this content so far, please consider giving me a subscribe in preparation for all my new videos coming out. Now, this is the end of the race. Some great race with everybody today. Thank you very much for coming along for the ride. We actually managed to finish in 3rd place overall, so a nice little trophy for us. I will leave you with some giggles from me and Freddie, and I'll see you on the track next time.